Hello, I'm Nathan Barton, and I'm going to be giving you a summary and plot synopsis of my favorite book, Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis. The book opens with our main character, Ransom, just going on a walking tour, and he runs into an old friend from his days at university, and he gets kidnapped by this friend because the friend needs someone to go to space with him. And he takes him to space, and they get on the spaceship and they fly off into space, and Ransom doesn't know where they're going, and his friend, whose name is Divine, says they're going to Malacandra, which you find out later is the planet Mars. They get there, and Ransom escapes from his captors, and then explores the world on his own a little bit, and runs into a native alien on the planet called a Hrossa, which is like a giant otter-like creature. And he starts to get used to them and learns their language and gets acclimated to their culture, and he starts to really love being with them because it's a beautiful planet and it's also an interesting culture, and he's learning all about it. And then finally, he gets called to go up to basically the king of Mars, and he goes up to meet him, and he meets another creature called a Sorn, named Greybeard, and he also learns about that creature. So he's basically learning about all the different aliens and cultures on Mars. And then he's taken from there, and then the Sorn talks to him about like the history of Mars and how it all came to being. And then they go to the king called Maleldil of Mars, and he talks to them, and Maleldil's like, you need to go back to Earth because you're needed there, not here. And finally, his captors finally show up, and the captors are trying to say, we want to stay on Mars, to the king. The king's trying to send them home, and the captors Divine wants to stay on Mars because it has like natural resources he wants to mine, because he's kind of trying to imperialize Mars. It's kind of a metaphor for imperialism and colonization. And Ransom just wants to leave because he recognizes the beauty of Mars, but doesn't want to like taint it with human population, basically. So finally they get sent back to Earth, and they make it back alive. That's basically the main plot. My favorite part of this book is when Ransom first meets the Hrossa, the like first alien he meets, because it's a really interesting scene because they both obviously don't speak the same language because one's an alien and one's human, but you can tell they're both intelligent. It's really written well, and it's really interesting to kind of see the different perspectives and how they kind of interact with each other, because most of the time when interactions like that happen in media, like in like popular culture, like movies and TV shows, it's like the alien's bad and the human is like kill him, and that's how this is. The alien's actually really kind and caring, and Ransom learns something from them, which is really interesting. So that's also why I suggest reading the book, because it's a different take on the classic kind of alien story.